My ambitious and responsible Capricorn friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. A Capricorn, there's a feeling this week that is both familiar and quietly unsettling. It's the sense of having your feet planted firmly on the ground, yet noticing a subtle tremor beneath the surface. There's a restlessness, but not the kind that makes you want to run. Instead, it presses you to pause and weigh what you're truly carrying. You might find yourself caught between the pride of your accomplishments and a silent questioning about what's next, or whether everything you've built is truly enough. It isn't loneliness exactly, but a solitary awareness, a sense that, even in moments of recognition, there is a part of you standing slightly apart, observing. You feel the urge to cut through distractions to see the core of things, but perhaps you also sense the cost of that sharp clarity. The world may see you as a pillar, but inside there's a quiet ache for something more intimate, more honest. This tension between certainty and longing colors each moment, casting both comfort and a thin shadow of doubt. You this week are best understood through the King of Swords. There's a coolness to your presence, not cold but composed. Your mind is sharp, clear, and unclouded by sentiment, at least on the surface. When others come to you, they find reason and structure. You are the one who sees through the noise, who can name truth without flinching. Inwardly, though, this clarity is more than a tool, it is a shield. You may notice yourself holding conversations at arm's length, or choosing your words with the precision of someone who knows what it means to be misunderstood. There's a quiet fatigue in always holding the line, always providing the answer, always keeping things in order. The world's chaos does not easily breach your walls, but the cost of that defense is a subtle, ongoing vigilance. There is a kind of pride in this, the pride of someone who has worked hard to earn their place and keep their standards. You expect much of yourself and even more of the world around you. Yet underneath, there's the unspoken tension. What happens when you need softness instead of solutions? What becomes of the questions you don't answer out loud, the needs you don't name? This week, you may notice a kind of mental crispness, a tendency to analyze rather than feel, to weigh rather than surrender. The feeling is not unpleasant, but it is lonely at times. You might find yourself wishing someone else could see the world as you do, wanting to be recognized not just for your insight, but for the quiet reasons behind it. Your emotional posture is upright and strong, but there's a longing, too, for someone to understand what you guard so carefully. Even if you do not voice it, that longing shapes each exchange, every decision. This inner state is not static. The clarity and reserve you carry shape the week ahead in subtle but powerful ways. When you move through the world with this blend of distance and discernment, you create a kind of space around yourself. Others notice it and may respond with either respect or caution, depending on how much of yourself you reveal. The very qualities that keep you safe, your insight, your restraint, your refusal to be swept away by emotion, also set the terms for what unfolds. You may find opportunities and challenges alike are drawn to your steadiness, yet they also ask whether you can let yourself be seen in return. The path before you is not simply laid out, it is carved by the way you hold yourself in each moment. The week's events gather around the 9 of Pentacles. Here, the shape of your days is marked by the tangible results of long effort. You may see evidence of your independence, your ability to stand on your own, and the material or emotional comforts you have earned. There's a sense of arrival, the kind that comes from seeing your diligence pay off. Yet with this comes a subtle pressure. The more you achieve, the more you may feel the need to maintain, to protect what you have built. There's momentum in your routines, perhaps a rhythm that feels both satisfying and, at moments, repetitive. You might notice that others look to you for assurance, for proof that patience and planning are rewarded, yet beneath the veneer of ease there's a friction. Surrounded by the fruits of your hard work, you may sense a growing awareness of what remains unfulfilled. The comforts you enjoy don't quite silence the part of you that wants something richer, something less solitary. You might feel the weight of your own expectations, both the fear of losing what you have and the quiet hunger for something you can't quite name. There's a push to enjoy, to rest, to savor, but also a restlessness, a wondering about what comes next. The pressures this week are not loud, but they are persistent. They ask whether satisfaction is enough and whether you are willing to let yourself want more. Events may unfold smoothly, but the true movement is internal as you measure your contentment against your deeper desires. The way forward is shaped by the tension between what you have earned and what you still hope to discover. Your strength and independence are unquestioned, but the question lingers. What do you do with the space you have created for yourself? The answer lies not in what happens around you, but in how you meet each moment, with vigilance or with the courage to soften. As the week unfolds, the invitation is to explore where comfort ends and longing begins. Potential waits, but it asks to be met with awareness. The momentum of your week is not a river that sweeps you along. It is a current you can notice, even redirect if you choose. The possibility of growth, of something new and vital, depends on how fully you engage with the questions that arise. To move beyond the familiar, you will need to recognize the ways you hold back, and to consider what it would feel like to step forward, not as a judge, but as someone willing to be changed. The future is not written. It is shaped by the choices you make in response to what you feel, not simply what you know. The Eight of Wands appears as your potential, not as a guarantee, but as a living invitation. There's an energy in the air, a sense that things could move quickly, that clarity could give way to action, that ideas or long-held intentions might find their moment. This is not a promise that everything will resolve itself, but rather a suggestion that, if you bring your full attention to what is stirring, movement is possible. The week holds the possibility for swift shifts, for messages received and understood, for momentum that is less about force and more about alignment. Growth here is not a matter of abandoning your discernment, but of letting it become a bridge, not a barrier, between yourself and others, between what you want and what you allow yourself to reach for. The invitation is to notice the moments when you feel the urge to act, to speak, to connect, and to let that urge guide you, even if the outcome is uncertain. You do not have to move all at once. Even a small gesture, made consciously, can set things in motion. This potential is not something you chase, but something you meet, by being present to what wants to happen next. All three cards thread together into a story of clarity, comfort, and the restless desire for more. The King of Swords reminds you of your rare ability to see through confusion, to hold your ground with dignity and strength. The Nine of Pentacles shows the rewards of such effort, a life shaped by intention, a space of your own, the quiet pleasure of knowing you have what you need. Yet neither clarity nor comfort is the end of the story. The Eight of Wands points to the possibility of movement, of energy suddenly released, of connections made in real time. The week asks you to honor each part of yourself, the thinker, the achiever, and the one who longs to feel alive in the midst of it all. There is no need to rush, no demand to change overnight. Instead, you can trust that by noticing what is true for you, by letting yourself feel the full range of comfort and longing, you will discover what wants to happen next. Whatever unfolds, you are not alone in your questions. The steadiness you bring is enough, even as you open to the unknown. Actionable insights for Capricorn this week. This week's emotional theme invites you to gently notice the spaces between certainty and longing. Try letting a conversation linger a little longer than usual. See how it feels to enjoy a small comfort with no goal in mind. Let yourself pause before moving on to the next task. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I trust the strength in my quiet decisions. I allow myself to enjoy what I have earned. I notice the urge for change and let it breathe. My clarity and my longing both belong to me. I am ready to meet whatever comes, one step at a time. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.